Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of the John Yang Daily Show. Today is Monday, September 9th, and John Yang's crowd surfing was the hit of the morning across the TV networks, including MSNBC.
Primary challenge in the GOP presidential race, and John Yang living his best life, crowd surfing.
This comes after John Yang met with President Barack Obama to discuss his support for a universal basic income.
So we're going to have to consider new ways of thinking about these problems, like a universal income.
If you would like to learn more about John Yang's campaign for president, make sure you visit johnyang2020.com. You can also find John Yang in theaters coming late 2020.
Andrew Yang, crowd surfing on the campaign trail.
Oh, she meant Andrew Yang. Come on, MSNBC. Afterwards, hashtag #WhoIsJohnYang trended on Twitter, and the Yang Gang meme community did its thing. The Humanist report came out with a video today that included a very misinformed and misleading segment from Joy Savage on Andrew Yang.
I'm noticing with the Yang Gang, there's so much misinformation.
Yeah, there is.
One of the things about UBI is it absolutely does take away from other social programs. So if you go on unemployment, that's gone, food stamps gone, things like this. All those social safety nets are gone.
No, they aren't.
We're not going to take anything away from someone if they think that their current benefits are superior to $1,000 cash.
You ask them about women's pay, freedom dividend. What does that have to do with anything?
In order to give women a leg up, what we have to do is we have to think about women in every situation, including the ones who are in exploitative and abusive jobs and relationships around the country. I'm talking about the waitress who's getting harassed by her boss at the diner, who might have a business idea, but right now is stuck where she is. What we have to do is we have to give women the economic freedom to be able to improve their own situations and start businesses. And the best way to do this is by putting a dividend of $1,000 a month into their hands. It would be a game changer for women around the country because we know that women do more of the unrecognized and uncompensated work in our society. It will not change unless we change it. And I say that's just what we do.
Also, all that does is give a Band-Aid because it's not addressing any issues as far as income and wealth inequality. It doesn't address racial disparity.
We should just go back to the writings of Martin Luther King, who in 1967, his book Chaos or Community, said we need a guaranteed minimum income in the United States of America. That is the most effective way for us to address racial inequality in a genuine way.
It doesn't address jobs.
It's going to create 2+ million jobs.
Why can't we just do more than just have a one-issue candidate?
You have more than 160 policy proposals on your website. And
I'm glad you noticed. Thank you.
You're literally supporting nothing.
You're literally making a fool of yourself. The host had some positive words to say about the Yang Gang, but then...
what's better? $12,000 per year, $1,000 per month, or a federal jobs guarantee with $70,000 to $80,000 per month? Slightly high.
$70,000 to $80,000 per month? I know he probably meant per year, but still, it goes to show the silliness of the whole segment. Joy goes on to say we need a federal jobs guarantee in order to get solar panels.
Yang literally himself was just on the climate change town hall, and he stated we need to do things across America like add solar panels. Maybe you should support a federal job guarantee because that's the only way it's going to get done.
Before directly attacking Yang's supporters.
I'm sorry, but a lot of them sound privileged as fuck. They're not thinking. I've had Yang supporters say, I only pay $450 a month for my rent, so I'm going to take that $1,000 and play video games all day.
$450
you know what?
for
That's awesome. Good for you, but I'm 40 years old and I have to work, and so does most of America. For those of us who have mortgages and things like that, as someone who's actually not living with their parents.
This is the same old smear that Yang support comes from a bunch of unemployed, lazy, live-at-home, basement-dwelling losers. And it's so tiresome to hear.
Oh, and by the way, no Yang Gangers come at me because I know I'm going to be getting like hardcore harassed because of that, and I'm just trying to educate people.
If this is what you call education, I worry for your viewers. PBS News published an article today explaining how Yang would pay for the Freedom Dividend. The Daily Dot also published an article today titled "Andrew Yang Isn't a Democrat, He's the Future of the Republican Party." The article goes on to trash Yang's policies and accuse him of running a doom and gloom campaign. Yang hit back on Twitter. Snapchat's Good Luck America program produced a video discussing recent media bias revolving around Andrew Yang. Here's a preview.
He's one of the most discussed Democrats on social media.
It's awesome.
But according to Axios, Yang ranks near the bottom of mainstream media coverage.
You can watch the full video by searching for Yang on Snapchat, scrolling down and then clicking the video. Andrew Yang will be appearing on the Niga Higa podcast very soon, as it looks like Yang was in their studio to record today. Niga Higa has over 20 million subscribers on YouTube. It's also possible that Yang met with Elon Musk today, as he tweeted about Musk's girlfriend, Grimes, saying she is awesome. We'll be sure to cover any Elon Musk, Andrew Yang related news as it happens. Yang also tweeted about the Patriots the other day, and he received some praise and a prediction on the Barstool Sports Pardon My Take podcast.
Andrew Yang said he tweeted out that
what team you root for anymore. That was disgusting.
Andrew Yang tweeted out that he hates the Patriots.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be president.
Yang showed off his musical talent today by playing a song on the piano for his old teacher. The town of Stockton, California is trying out an experimental universal basic income for 125 of their residents.
Once a month since February, the local government in Stockton, California has deposited $500 on Garza's debit card. No strings attached.
It's meant a lot. I feel very blessed. I feel very good about it, just to have the chance to have it.
It's part of a universal basic income study giving money to 125 randomly selected residents living below Stockton's median household income to see how it will impact their lives. The money for the project comes from private donations. The idea was the brainchild of Stockton's 29-year-old mayor who grew up poor in the city.
I think poverty is immoral. I think it's antiquated, and I think it shouldn't exist.
The idea of providing a supplemental universal basic income has become a hot topic in the current presidential campaign. Candidate Andrew Yang wants to give every American $1,000 a month, which he says could be paid for by increasing taxes on billionaires and corporations.
If you dig into our country's history, you find this a deeply American idea. Thomas Paine was for it at the founding of our country, called it the citizens' dividend. Martin Luther King championed it and fought for it in the 60s. 1,000 economists endorsed it in the 60s and 70s. It was so mainstream that it passed the U.S. House of Representatives twice in 1971 as the Family Assistance Plan.
It also is pushed entirely almost by the tech sector, which is trying to automate away jobs and make it more difficult for people to get a good job in this economy.
But Stockton's mayor says this to the critics.
I'm just as angry as you are, but I'm angry about the problem. I'm not angry about possible solutions.
Garza continues to look for work and says the extra $500 a month has allowed her to help pay the bills, spoil her grandchildren for the first time, and take her beloved dog to the vet, which she could never afford before.
I like it because I feel more independent. I feel more like I'm in charge. Like I really have something that's my own.
University researchers are monitoring the Stockton participants and say they'll measure success not based on whether they keep or retain jobs, but on how much more happy they become.
I love you too. I love you too.
Now, how can we provide universal basic income for everyone? Well, getting Andrew Yang elected. Today, he tweeted in support of a push to fund a Yang Gang-sponsored custom truck. This project is being led by @felon_Fred on Twitter. The truck would drive around the U.S. and introduce people to Andrew Yang's policies. The GoFundMe has raised $8,200 in 17 hours as of this recording. You can help fund the truck by visiting the GoFundMe page, which I will leave a link to in the description, along with every tweet, clip, and article from this video. 2 new polls were released today by Harris X and Morning Consult, each of which showed Yang at 3%. That concludes today's episode of the Andrew Yang Daily Show. See you tomorrow. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Zach and Matt Show, and also you can become a producer of the show by visiting our Patreon page. Supporting our Patreon page helps us continue to produce this show every single day. We really do appreciate all of your support.
Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang. Yeah, yeah. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang 2020. Yang Gang.